Hey gamers, Maniac here with GameAccess.net. Basically recording a new date night. It's kind of funny because tonight, if I really had to think about it for a good second, is probably one of the best nights that I've ever had in a long time. And that sounds really weird because I could have easily imagined myself a decade ago having a night like tonight and saying that, wow, that was the best night of my life. And now today, here I am, an engaged man, out on an event by himself, who's going to get married in quite a year or so, doing an event that did not involve his fiance, obviously. Did he have the best night of his life? No. But a decade ago, before he met his fiance, or the woman who would become his fiance, he would have said, yes, this is probably the best night ever. What happened? Well, I went to go see the Game Awards double feature tonight. In my state, only one theater, I believe they said 50 cities in the country, the United States, we're going to be broadcasting a live feed of the Game Awards on a large theater screen. It did cost to get in. However, they did apply to your ticket the cost of going to see Jumanji, the new Jumanji movie that came out tomorrow. Yeah, it was without a doubt one of the best nights that I had had. Let's back up a little bit because maybe you guys might want to hear, I don't know, half of you guys might actually want to hear about my night, half of you guys might want to actually hear about Jumanji or the new Jumanji movie, the Jumanji The Next Level, and other people might want to hear about the Game Awards. I don't intend for this video to be very long because usually it's just my own thoughts and perhaps I might need some more time to really process how I feel about these things, but I do intentionally do these date night videos to kind of get my initial reactions down. So, and I have a lot to say about how good the night was. So anyways, needless to say, I did get into this late night double feature. They did not put it on an IMAX screen, but we did have digital projectors and a theater. Cost $20 to get in, plus a service charge because I bought the tickets online. It is what it is. The ticket was, officially the ticket was for the Jumanji movie. I guess you could say, well, I've done events like this in the past where we'd see only the event, no other film. And the tickets would either be free or we'd have to pay full ticket price for the venue to go see it. An event that would be an example of being free would be when PlayStation did their E3 2015 press conference. That was, of course, free. One that wasn't free was when they did the Tomb Raider, making of a Tomb Raider documentary, which was not free, but was still a good, still a good show. So this, I thought, split the difference. Obviously, I had to pay a full price. I think the ticket was $20 because it was considered a special event. But we did get to see Jumanji, the new Jumanji movie, in its entirety. Now, how do I feel about the new Jumanji film? Well, take this with a grain of salt. I saw the original Jumanji movie back when the theater, back when it came out, back in 1995. And I enjoyed that film quite a bit. I then later got the VHS copy and enjoyed that quite a bit. I would watch the movie regularly. Jumanji, when Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle was first announced, when I first saw the trailers of it, I was hesitant about it because I couldn't tell in the trailers if it was in fact officially a sequel or a reboot or something along those lines. I think that later I later found out that yes, it was considered a sequel, but I didn't, by that point the movie had already been out of theaters, and so I was like, well, I might pick up the movie on disc or something, but I kind of just want to watch it on like a streaming service or something before I made that decision. And I kind of put it off. And eventually it did end up on Stars, the Stars network. And it's still on the Stars network if you want to watch Welcome to the Jungle. And I watched it, and I just kept putting off watching it, basically. I just didn't really have an excuse to watch it. I was like, I need to make myself some time. This is the kind of movie I want to sit down and I just never made time to watch it. And then this event was happening. So I'm like, I bought a ticket to this event, and I was like, well, I've got to watch Welcome to the Jungle. So I watched it this morning. First thing I did when I got up, I put up Stars on Demand, and I'm like, okay, play Welcome to the Jungle, and I watched it from start to finish, and I actually enjoyed it. A lot of times, and I easily could have said I hated. I easily could have said to a movie like Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, if I hated it, I would tell you flat out I hated it. But to me, Welcome to the Jungle felt like it was being made by video game fans, and it did give respect and nod to the original Jumanji film into a way that when the nod finally came, and I won't spoil when or where it happens, I had to pause the movie to have a little tearjerker moment almost. And I enjoyed the rest of Welcome to the Jungle, and I thought it was a fine movie. I probably will pick it up on disc, probably tomorrow or something like that. So I did find myself enjoying it. So I come into this evening to go see Jumanji: The Next Level. They showed that before they decided to show the Game Awards event. In your area, depending upon your time zone, it might be different. But in this case, they said Jumanji first, then Game Awards. They already knew how long Jumanji was going to be, so they could schedule it properly. And it felt like a proper sequel. I mean, it felt like, if anything, Welcome to the Jungle was kind of a reboot, but a soft reboot, which is fine. You know, you can do that sort of thing. It's when they do hard reboots, it loses me. But if you're gonna do like a next generation film or something, or a new concept, or take a concept and turn it on, but still, you know, this felt like a sequel to Welcome to the Jungle, but it was still good. If I could describe this in a way without spoiling it, I would say that Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle was very much the Uncharted movie. I'll just say that right now. It was the Uncharted movie. Jumanji: The Next Level is Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3. There, I said it. Take for that what you will. The acting was good. The stunts were good. You can't go wrong with actors like The Rock, Danny DeVito. Oh, God, that girl that played Amy Pond. Karen Gillan, she's fantastic. Kevin Hart, of course, hilarious. Danny Glover, of course. Colin Hanks is back. That's not a spoiler. He was in the previews. The actors were just phenomenal. It was interesting to see what these characters were doing a year after it was interesting to catch up with these characters all over again. What are their new trials and tribulations? And it does pay, respect to the nods that it made at the end of Welcome to the Jungle. So those questions are answered. I wanted to know, after seeing Welcome to the Jungle, what's going to happen to these characters. Jumanji: The Next Level says what happens to these characters. We see a new part of their life. So that was great. New environments, new stunts, new things to do. It was Uncharted 2 and 3 for me. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle's Uncharted 1. So, great. Props. Naughty Dog should be getting a kickback, though. So, let's talk about the Game Awards. Now, in my area, there was an event basically going on. This was an event where we basically were given specialty wristbands. Let's see if this thing will glow. Hold on. The switch might be a little stuck. Yep, there it goes. We were all given specialty wristbands and bingo cards to start off the event. This would get us in and be our badges, whatever, which is pretty cool. So basically, after Jumanji ended, they handed out the wrist badges, they handed out the bingo cards, and they basically said, whoever gets a bingo, or the first 3 people that get bingo, get prizes. They had all the different things that would normally happen at any type of award show, like a mention of the after party, or obviously there was a free space in the center. But things like EA wins an award, or Activision Blizzard wins an award. Some people had like guy trips going onto stage, which actually didn't happen, but there were other ones like thanks the kids, or thanks the people that they work with. Or there were a lot of things that basically could have happened at the award show. Specific words that had to be used. Whoever could check off, and all the bingo cards were different, by the way, so it was like a random draw as from a pile of different, tropes. Whoever got it would win. Well, I won. Won this. And I'm probably going to use it for my new gaming PC, so thank you guys. Really did appreciate this. So yeah, I got first place. And the reason I got first place, the guys from Remedy who won for Best Art Direction, their art director was not in attendance at the show. I think he was back in Helsinki, Finland. So that factor, that was like one thing that really, really got me. You know, that was like, yes, that one really helped my board, let me tell you. The one that some people were iffy on, I don't think anybody, by the time somebody scored a selfie, pretty much everybody's board was pretty much done. So it is what it is. But what did I think of the Game Awards show? Other than the fact that the host of the pre-show was absolutely terrible, everything else was pretty good. I thought the music was good. Green Day did a fantastic performance. The awards that were won, I know this is probably depending upon your taste as to who should have won what. And I'm not going to sit here and complain about this person should have won, except for Game of the Year, but we'll talk about that in a minute or two. What about the exclusives? I got to see these trailers on an enormous screen. We got a little preview for No More Heroes 3. Don't know how I feel about it because it was clearly a joke trailer. It did say there was going to be a 2020 release for it. So I'm always happy to see No More Heroes 3 on screen. But I did feel that they wasted an opportunity to actually show the game when it was clearly that they just kind of showed an ET ripoff or something like that. But that's, you know, that's Suda for you, so I'm fine with that. It was still nice just to see a trailer for it because I'm really looking forward to that game. Final Fantasy VII's new trailer, a little too brief for me. A little disappointed there was no Avengers trailer. I really wanted to see an Avengers trailer. The closest thing that we got to it, to any reference to the Marvel characters was a DLC announcement for Ultimate Alliance 3. They announced some DLC with some new characters. So while that's kind of cool, I still feel like that was a little unnecessary. I would have liked to have seen Avengers. So, you know, it's going to be out before E3 comes out, so it'd be nice to see more of that game. But that did not show. Other stuff that looked pretty good, the game that was confirmed for Xbox, for the next Xbox, I think they're calling it Xbox Series X or something right now. That got people excited. We saw the next Xbox console, and we saw the first game that was being announced. Well, the second game officially. The first was probably Halo Infinite. But we saw the game that was being announced for it. And by Ninja Theory. It's I believe it was what is that game? Hellblade 2. People were just like, this is game engine. Like, people could not believe how good that game looked. I could not believe how good that game looked. I don't know if I still don't know if I believe how good that game looked, but it looked good. So we got the first announcement for a PS5 game, God, I can't remember the last, God something or other, but it was being made by Gearbox. It looked pretty good. Don't know how I feel about it, but it is officially the first game to be announced for the Xbox. I'm sorry, for the PlayStation 5, so props there. I think it's also coming to PC, though. I think they said it's also going to come to PC through the Epic Game Store, but don't quote me on that. Other exclusive announcements that I really liked off the top of my head. Well, this one's just going to come right to me. This one, I think, got everybody in the theater to stand up. I was the first to recognize it for what it was. The Wolf Among Us 2. Thank you. The Big Bad Wolf is coming back. Thank you so much. I don't know if it was Telltale making a deal with WB Games or DC, you know, because I clearly saw WB and DC's logo on there, but still. The Wolf Among Us remains my favorite Telltale game. And I was so disheartened, most of all, that we were not going to be getting a sequel to that when Telltale announced that they were done. But it's back. Wolf Among Us 2 coming. Yes. I'm so happy to hear about that. Can't wait to play it. So what other goodies did we get? Let's see. What did I get here? Got a headphone hanger. Give me a headphone hanger for the prize. What else is in here? Headphone hanger carrying case. Headphone hanger carrying case. That's kind of nice. I don't think it's a little necessary for the PC, but it is what it is. Oh, and there's one other thing that I got that you guys aren't going to be seeing. We got Stadias. At least I think we got Stadias. I don't know. I'll probably know for sure by the time I post this, but I may be getting a Google Stadia. I don't know for sure. We shall see. Other stuff that was out. Control is. They got an announcement right now. If you have a copy of Control, there's a free DLC downloaded patch right now with a new mission. You can download that right now, and patch your game, and that'll automatically download the DLC. So get going on that right now. If you're a Control player that's looking for some new gameplay, I still haven't beat Control yet, but I am playing it. Those are the ones that really stood out for me. As for the winners, like I said, I really don't know if I feel comfortable with basically disputing some of the wins. I do feel that. All right, you're going to hate me for saying this, but I'll take a stand here. Damn it, it's my show and I'll say it. I felt there was an upset on the Game of the Year announcement. I do feel Kojima rightfully won Best Director. I'll just say that right now. But I do feel that, really, I mean, I don't know if Death Stranding should have been considered Game of the Year. I would have loved if Control was considered Game of the Year because that game really is that good. But I would have been fine if something like, if Super Smash Bros., for example, was considered Game of the Year. Heck, I'm still playing that game, and it's been out for a year. And that game is amazing. I love it. But, of course, none of those won. So, again, I don't know how I feel about that. You probably disagree. Obviously, the voters disagreed with me on that one. But I felt it was a bit of an upset, so it is what it is. I barely scratched the surface for this. There's so much out there. But yeah, that was just the stuff that came out. I mean, I still enjoyed it. I mean, say what you will. Like I said, I disagreed with some of the with some of the wins, but it's an award show, and at least I got to give them props for a couple of things. Some of these award shows that they've done in the past felt pretty insulting to the audience. This did not feel that way, with the exception of the pre-show host. With the exception of the pre-show host, it was clear. It was nice to see presenters like Reggie Fils-Aimé. Heck, it was nice to see Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez present. These were people that clearly did love gaming, and props, and I hope they come back for another show. It was great to see the guys from the Muppets do a presentation. Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker with the goose. That was adorable, by the way. Everybody in the theater was going crazy for the goose, and all for all that the Muppet show was great. These were presenters that clearly knew what they were doing. Clearly knew. It was nice to see Doug Bowser was there to accept the awards that they were being given for some of the Nintendo wins. People were happy to see Nintendo do, have presentation, have their first presentations. I did really like the Final Fantasy VII new trailer. The Octopath Traveler team is working on Bravely Default 2. That made the theater go crazy because when we were first seeing it, I knew that the Octopath Traveler team was the Bravely Default team and is that team. And I liked Bravely Default. That's one of my favorite 3DS games. And I liked Octopath Traveler on the Switch. I thought it had an amazing art style and everything. And we were debating until we saw it. It's like, is this Octopath Traveler 2? Is this Bravely Default 2? Who knows? And then they said it's Bravely Default 2, and everybody went crazy because they're like, we'll take it. No joke. Everybody's like, Bravely Default 2, I'll take that. That looks good. It's like, I like that team. That was the, Square Enix, great decision. They were like, we'll take it. We weren't expecting this. That was a big surprise. Yeah. So, how was my night? Got to see a movie a little bit early, Won a headset, won some stuff. How was my night? I mean, it's up there. It's not the best, obviously. Honey, I swear, it wasn't the best. But it was still a great night for me. I enjoyed everything. I enjoyed all the bit. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I'd like to see him doing it again in the future. Don't know what the next movie. Do a double feature again. You could do it. Do another double feature. Yeah. Well, I hope I didn't bore you guys too much. Until next time, guys. My name is Maniac with GamingSuccess.net. Take care. Over now.